What is going on, friends? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have Noah Thomas. He is I actually don't know anything about him. He just sent me a video. So, doing technical analysis on him. Sent me a few videos as usual. And this one seemed to be kind of, I guess, all-encompassing. He sent me one that was better than this, one that was a little bit worse than this. So we're going to analyze the average one, because I imagine it's maybe what your average throw looks like. So, yeah, if anybody else out there is interested in technical analysis, go to my website, gripandrip.co, sign up. Now is the time. Now is always the time. Better late than never. It's the off season for a lot of people. Some people are still throwing. Maybe it's the preseason, whatever. Now's the time to make technical changes so they actually kind of set in and cement themselves for competition season. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, maybe I should, yes, you should. You should do it. All right, gripandrip.co. Go check it out. Sign up. All type of different stuff. Technical coaching, throws programming, lifting programming, whatever you need, I do it. All right, so go take a look. And if you have anything, you want anything special, send me a message. All right, contact page, DM me on Instagram, whatever it is. All right, so let's get into it. Let's take a look at Noah's throw. Um, yeah, pretty decent throw. A little bit of tension through the left side. Kind of looks like you're forcing the hands down a little bit. Looks a little tight in the shoulders and the arms, but like you have pretty good flow. Your finishes are pretty consistent, which is cool. Could maybe help out in the winds a little bit. And then, like most people throwing the hammer, it all just really kind of comes back to patience, letting the ball get a little bit more ahead, letting the ball get a little bit more free. And that's kind of what, like I said, the video that you sent me that was kind of worse than this, you were a little bit tighter through the left side and through the arms. This one is okay, and the other one you sent was probably a little bit better. So, yeah, one more time through, and we shall break it down now. Okay, so through the winds, pretty easy and controlled. Facing the back of the circle, square at the back of the circle, eyes at the back of the circle. Maybe consider looking off to the right a little bit more, 30, 45 degrees before zero. Maybe you're starting at the back of the ring. I'm not a fan of people looking straight back to zero at the end, in the winds and entry, because I think it has the tendency to create some left side tension to lead the ball a little bit. That being said, like you're pretty patient through here, a little bit of step out, getting down to the legs, flowing with the hips, reaching back pretty good. Your head stays at zero for the most part. You can see it starts to lead a little bit towards the end, and it's not very dramatic. Like you're not totally turning that head to the left to kind of guide you around the left side, but there is still a little bit. So as you can see, this ball is coming through about 45 degrees before zero. You start to turn your head a little bit, turn that left side a little bit, and create a little bit of tension with that left side. So that's why I said just, turn your head a little bit more to the right, to your right. That way you can connect with the ball a little bit better, because as you can see, that left side is kind of guiding it. Where if you turn your head a little bit more, you have to kind of see the ball, you have to let the ball get a little bit more ahead, and that'll just make everything easier on you. It'll be uncomfortable at first, for sure. It's going to take some time figuring out, like, how much do you let it go? How much do I look back to the right? That sort of thing. But really, you just gotta, like I said, connect that head with the ball a little bit more, and that'll kind of, I guess, dial in the rest of the body, I think. Head goes a little bit early, though. And you're pretty stable through zero. So that's why it's not bad. You can see a little bit of that left side direction, left side shifting back, sitting back down into the throw a little bit. Patience is pretty good, but you can see it. You're just always just a little bit ahead of the ball instead of letting the ball, like right through here. This is when the ball should start getting a little bit more ahead. It's give and take. So like you want to be ahead of the hammer at the start of double sport, but then you want the hammer to be a little bit more ahead at the end of double sport as it comes through here. But like I said, your left side just kind of leads. Your entry is pretty flat, which I like. You can see the straight left arm, hands out away from the body. That's good. You're centered. You're not too far over the left side. You're not too far over the right side. Your hips aren't really shifting back a lot. So like pretty stable through here. I like that. Looks like you could kind of protract your shoulders a little bit more. So meaning like it looks like your arms are kind of like locked down at your sides. So you could kind of protract the shoulders a little bit more. Look that up if you don't know what it is. Give it a Google. Shoulder protraction through the shoulder blades, kind of pushing shoulder blades forwards, reaching towards the sector. And then that might help out a lot. But single sport movement, and like, so this is where I'm talking about, where it looks like you kind of push your hands down, where like through here, it looks pretty good. Ball's taking a pretty natural path, and somewhere between here and the next couple frames, it looks like you kind of push your hands down a little bit. And You also kind of drop with the hammer. Not even drop, but it just looks like you're kind of coming down with the hammer. So you want this right hip, right leg to kind of step forward just a little tiny bit, where like I said, it looks like you're really reaching around with the right foot, and you can see you're kind of pre-turning it, where I think if you kind of cut that out, cut the middleman out, and just stepped towards the ball, think about stepping that right foot towards the ball's going to rotate you. You don't need to think about rotating around with the ball. If that makes sense. So just step towards the ball, step towards the high point, step towards 180, and your foot will come down where it needs to. Like I said, with you stepping around, it looks like it comes down a couple frames late. There's not much separation, not much tension here. You can see the hips are kind of turned a little bit ahead. If they were facing the ball a little bit more, that might help. Perhaps. But like I said, it looks like you kind of force your hands down a little bit. You see this right foot kind of pre-turned. And then as you go through double support, like I said, pretty consistent, pretty stable through the body, but you see that head peaking again. You see this left side tightening up just a little too early, just a little tiny bit too early. Like I said, I think controlling that head's going to help. And then pretty patient. You see you do kind of shift back a little bit. You get some good impulse through that left leg. Right hip, right leg's kind of with it. But then you can see just the same thing here, a little bit of tension through the arms and the shoulders. That left side, left shoulder is up a little bit. Once again, kind of that pre-turned right foot kind of stepping around rather than stepping forward towards the ball. As you can see, your foot comes down, and there's kind of like a lag. Your right foot comes down pre-turned. There's really not much turning with it. And then from there, you're going to see this left side take over a little bit more. You're going to see this left shoulder up a little bit more. Like I said, you just look a little tight, especially if you look at this right arm. It looks a little bit bent, a little bit down towards, kind of elbow towards the rib cage a little bit. You want to get those, like I said, shoulders protracted, kind of create a little bit of space between the elbows, the biceps, whatever, the arms, and the body. Part of this also comes from the left side kind of pulling a little bit. Coming across, you can see the head getting more dramatic here, pulling kind of around to 180. You're back over the right side, which is great. Single support movement's pretty efficient, but then you start to see this left side, like I said, left shoulder coming up more now. Catching, right foot pre-turned again. Like I said, kind of keep that right foot maybe facing the ball a little bit more on the catch. That might help. That'll help you feel the turning of the ball with the ball. A little bit high in the legs. As you can see, left foot looks a little bit high on the toe. Not a bad thing, just food for thought. And then same thing, looks like your hands kind of forced down again. You start to see this right side, like I said, that right elbow kind of coming down even more. The left side starting to pull up even more. Head's pulling to the left even more. Same thing though, like your movement, your turn is pretty good. Like you're back over that right side, exactly where you need to be. Hips getting up into it. You just see that head pulling across, and then you catch a little bit more in the direction of the sector. Right foot's a little bit more towards the ball, so you're getting closer to it here. But by this point, it's the last turn. There's really not much you can do. So then you kind of pull that left side again. But like you have a very good feel, it looks like, for, like I said, being centered. So as the ball's on your right side, you're on your left side. As the ball's on the left side, you're on the right side. So your turning system is pretty good. You just got to get the ball a little bit more ahead, project your shoulders, and control that head a little bit. Like I said, you're just kind of pulling the head across to get the hammer across, where you just need to let the ball go, let the hammer go across, and turn with it. Head with it, shoulders with it, torso with it. You really want to find true connection, where, like I said, you're kind of pulling and creating tension on your own. So yeah, hopefully this helps. We'll run it through one more time. Like I said, look over to the right a little bit more in your entry. Be a little bit more patient. I like how flat this is. Let the ball go a little bit more ahead of you. Let the ball build tension. That kind of starts off. When the hammer goes behind you, you want to feel the tension of the ball kind of pulling backwards to 180. Then you just got to stay strong and be stable. Feel it wide out to the right, and then just let it build. Let it go. Let it build through entry. And it'll kind of take you around, and then from there, like I said, project those shoulders. Don't force the hands down. Let the ball take its natural orbit. You could also think about turning your hands to the left from this position. So as you can see, as you come through here, your hands are a little bit turned clockwise. Like look at where your thumbs are pointing from your perspective. If I were the thrower, your hands, your thumbs, if you pointed them straight up, they're kind of pointed towards like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I think that kind of contributes to a little bit of that left side coming up. So if you turn them, let's say, to 11 o'clock, or maybe 10 o'clock even. 9 o'clock's a little drastic. That's the Kidway Johnson style. But 11 o'clock, spiral the hands a little bit to the left. That might help keep that left shoulder down. make this single sport a little bit smoother, step towards the ball, step towards the sector, and then from there it's just kind of like keeping that system going. So it's pretty close. It's just that left side's kind of cutting things off, cutting off the rotation a little bit early instead of letting the ball really go where it needs to go. So yeah, pretty solid stuff though. Let me know if you have any questions, Noah. And if anybody else out there would like technical analysis, any online throws coaching, hit me up, gripandrip.co. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, Sean Don signing off.